It's so stupid, it's positively brilliant.
The Brilliant Idiots Podcast.
I went to therapy on Friday, and I've been feeling this way for the past few months, which is actually going to be a direct 180 from what I was just talking about.
Right.
But
so you are going to suck Sakashi's dick.
No. I finally feel worthy, bro.
Ooh.
I finally got into a place of worthy.
Now, explain worthiness.
Last year I had a conversation with Bishop T.D. Jakes, and it's something that I've always dealt with. It's my therapist calls it imposter syndrome. Like,
yes.
you know,
this is very common.
Yeah.
Very common for women in the workplace.
Really?
Oh, wildly common.
I think it's very common for like people, especially us in the industry.
It's common for us in the industry because we've achieved, immense success in a field that's so difficult to feel successful.
Yeah.
But they say that women in the workplace, even in doing normal jobs, often have this imposter syndrome, being like, are they going to figure out that I'm a fraud?
Yeah,
I don't really deserve this. Do I belong? This, that, the other.
Yeah.
And that's like social conditioning that they actually grow up in. Like, a woman's not supposed to be a scientist or this kind of shit.
Yeah.
So while all these people look up to you and they're like, oh my God, that's Charlamagne, God, he's got all these skills, etc. There's still a part of you that's thinking, why the fuck do I have this?
Absolutely.
As crazy as that sounds.
Absolutely. I deal with it all the time. It's like guilt. Like, you can deal with the, I guess, survivor's remorse. And then when you look back, at your hometown and you look at all the people that you grew up with and they may not necessarily be
What's
doing.
so different about me?
Exactly. What's so unique and special about me? Like, there's nothing. And you'll tell yourself that, there's nothing special about you.
Right.
Like, yeah, whatever. And so Bishop T.D. Jakes told me last year, and that's why I actually posted that this weekend. He told me last year, he was like, yo, you have to get to a place of worthy. And he said that it's because when you were, he said most people that were touched when they were young, he said, found it, like, because I was touched on when I was 8.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, when you were touched on by you were young, you never quite feel worthy.
Why?
And that hit me so hard because.
Someone couldn't even wait.
Check it out, though. When I made her stop, she started talking down on me.
So it wasn't a touching, it was the criticizing afterwards.
Yeah.
The touching would imply that, you were the most worthy of all, everyone.
But when I stopped letting her do it, that's when she's like, oh, you got a big nose anyway, and you ugly, and this and that, this and that. So it's like, I don't know, I never thought about it.
But it's ingrained in you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so he said that's a common thing. And then I remember hearing Tyler Perry speak about how you have to get to a place of worthy. Because he said, if you don't get to a place of worthy, right, God will take away whatever it is that he's bestowed upon you.
Right.
Because you're not appreciating it. And, you'll find a way to self-sabotage.
Right.
You know what I mean? You'll find a way to talk yourself out of things. I want you to add those clips too, Taylor. Well, you could do it in pre-production, post-production.
Post-production.
Yeah.
We're in a nice little role.
It's on my Instagram.
So,
but over the past few months, right? Yo, I literally be just riding and having this energy just overcome me where I'm like, man, I'm really blessed. Like, I really feel good. Like, thank you, God. Like these pockets of gratitude. And it's like, I can't describe it. And my therapist was saying that it's all of these positive endorphins. She said it's like when you're working out. You know how you work out and after you feel like, woo.
Yeah.
She was like, it's like that. And I was like, man, I've been really feeling that the past few months. And like, last week I just was like, I really feel worthy. Like everything that I've done, everything that I'm doing, everything that I'm going to do, just me as a human being, my family, my friends, like I am worthy of all of this greatness that is around me. And man, when I tell you that shit was like a revelation like I've never had, like eye-opening, like, oh shit, like, is this what Molly feel like? Like, is this what ecstasy feel like?
Yeah.
Is this what shrooms feel like?
Yeah.
Really?
Not shrooms. Molly.
Yeah. Really?
So, because you know how you were operating on a deficit, right? You didn't feel worthy, like you were empty.
Yeah.
So you're trying to fill that emptiness with things probably in your career, these different successes that you made, right?
Yeah.
Molly, for me, and I'm not promoting it per se, even though it's fucking fantastic, is not only do you get filled up emotionally, that void that you're talking about, right? You have excess. And then you have the gratitude. And what I realize, whenever I have excess, the first place it goes is everyone.
Other people, word up.
And like, say what you want about religion and religious folks, but truly religious folks that really believe it never are taking They are constantly in give mode.
Absolutely.
And I truly believe, and I'm someone who wasn't raised with religion, but I truly believe that their void gets filled with God, or the belief in God, or the belief that God loves them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That emptiness that a lot of us feel. So it's like that idea of like feeling worthy is really interesting because it's a double-edged sword. Your lack of feeling worthy probably drove you to greatness. If Michael Jordan felt worthy, he wouldn't be the greatest NBA player of all time. What did Michael Jordan talk about in his All-Star his Hall of Fame acceptance speech?
All the rejection that he experienced.
Because he didn't feel worthy.
He didn't feel worthy. Word.
So it's this weird thing where it's like, what would you prefer?
Yeah. I mean,
what
listen.
What would you prefer?
Yo, it's a process, man, and I'm going to tell you something. It's a beautiful journey, you know, because like just me constantly feeling like that, like never feeling like I quite belong. And I always felt like that was a good energy to have because I felt like if I ever felt in that space, I would get comfortable. But that's not the case. It's actually
now you feel like you're still driven.
I'm even more driven. And the reason I'm even more driven is because of what you just said.
Yeah.
I want to continue to be full enough to constantly have my cup overflowing so I can provide for everybody else.
That's the transition that some entertainers don't make, some like rock stars don't make. That's why a lot of these athletes, not even athletes, but that's why a lot of these entertainers kill themselves. I truly believe that. It's because they get to a point where they have everything they ever dreamed of and they're still miserable.
That's because they're in their head that it's about them.
Right.
It's not about you anymore.
They didn't make the transition to, the new way to be. Before, the way to be happy was sell this many albums, do this many tours, etc. Yep. Then you transition to, how do I help my friends sell this many albums? How do I help my friends
the greatest,
do this on tour?
Dr. Wayne W. Dyer said that your purpose in life is service to others.
It's hard to get there when you can't even serve yourself. It's like, I feel like on some level you need, you know what, when they say on the airplane, they're like, put your oxygen mask on first before you help the kids. Yeah. And our natural instinct would be, well, there's kids here, let's put the oxygen mask on first. But the plane people are like, motherfucker, if you can't breathe,
you can't help nobody.
You can't help nobody. So it's like, I think the idea with this like fill in the void thing is, once you fill yourself, it will naturally spill over. It's like one of those champagne glass towers in those fancy, hotels or something, when they have, or like a wedding, they have like 100 champagne glasses. Yeah, and they just fill the top one.
And then all of them start to get filled.
But if that top one doesn't fill, you know how hard it is to fill each one individually?
Yeah. And I don't want anybody in here that's hearing me to think that you have to get successful in order to help. Because my grandmother would...
full.
Well, yeah, but my grandmother would always tell me that manners will take you where money won't. And, for me, like I always say, money doesn't change you. It just multiplies whatever you are. Yeah. I've always been a giver just because that's what I always used to see my folks do. Right. My father, regardless of what his financial standing was always giving something. I don't give a fuck if it was a beer. You know what I mean? Yeah. My grandmother was always giving something no matter what her financial status was, just because she would cook and, you want to eat, you're hungry no matter who you were. So I was always that type of person. I would always want to, just be of service to people. But now, sometimes when you get an overabundance of something, you can find yourself being selfish. And it's easy for me to have this conversation now because I've finally figured it out. But even talking to my daughter the other day, my daughter, they do Secret Santa. She do Secret Santa Chili and Secret Santa at school, all different places. So she ended up getting like a bunch of the same gift. It was like some candles or something like that. And she's complaining about having the same gift. Yeah. And I say, right now, you're not being grateful that you have an overabundance of something.
I mean, what kid gets another kid a candle?
Well,
it's a shitty fucking present.
And so she said, it's so funny you said that because she said to me, well, the person that gave it to me told me they wish they had got me something else. I said, that's probably because knowing you made a face at her and was like, I already got this. You know what I mean? So you probably made her feel bad.
We have electricity. We don't need candles. Who the fuck gives a kid? Why would a kid ever buy a candle? That is the dumbest gift. What school is this? Are you sending your kid to like a special school or something like that?
It's private, but these scented candles are bomb.
I don't care how good a candle smells.
Bro, these kids
It's a fucking candle. It's a nuisance. It's just trash.
You
have to clean it all up.
Some of these kids are into mindfulness way more than us, bro.
So they're meditating?
Yes.
Yo, what if they gave it? Hey, give this to your dad. He'll calm down.
Me and my daughter meditate together.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
This is great.
Yeah, I meditate with my daughter. Do breathing exercises and everything.
This is great.
Absolutely. But she had the candle, and I told her, you got 6 of the same candle. What should you do? She was like, I don't know. I was like, now is your opportunity, being that you have an overabundance of something, to be a blessing to somebody else.
Yes. So beat all those kids over the head with those candles.
Someone else will appreciate. Someone else will appreciate that candle.
Who is going to appreciate a candle?
The kids.
Who in history, outside of Paul Revere, has ever been excited that there's fucking candles?
You so from New York, yo.
Why?
Because you have never experienced a hurricane and had a natural disaster or
did.
anything. Because when you do,
I did have a hurricane.
Listen, if something's gonna
I
happen.
use my iPhone flashlight. We got a candle right
Wait till
here.
that
built
shit
in the
go
phone.
dead.
Exactly. What if it does?
It's gonna
What if
come a
this
point.
dies?
It's gonna come a point in time
Yeah.
where America's gonna get hit with some type of natural disaster. You'll be like, where the fuck are those candles that Charlamagne's
You know
daughter
what?
had?
And I'm going to light the candle, and it's going to go on. I'm like, wow, the most minimum amount of light. This is so exciting. Thank God. Thank God
Yo.
I can barely see still.
Multiple.
So
one
candle doesn't light
yes,
shit.
it does.
Bro, one
if
candle-
I turned off all the lights in this room and lit one candle, you would be shocked.
How dark it was.
At how bright
There'd
it
be
was.
a little thing of light in the middle and nothing else.
We still got the lights. We got the lights from the window though. Yeah, if it was
See
pitch
how
black,
you guys are talking out of this candle?
listen, you would love a candle, bro. Candles are the
Candles
shit.
suck. That's why we
No.
replace them immediately.
No. I love candles.
That's why candles got to smell good, because just being a candle isn't enough. They're like, hold on, did you get me a just candle? This doesn't smell like apple cinnamon or anything.
They do. They are better when they are better when they're scented.
Say what?
They are better when they're scented.
Because they do nothing when they're not. Even when they're scented. Even when they're scented, they suck.
Listen, fuck the candles. The moral of the story is
candles!
the moral of the story
yes,
is when
your
you
daughter has every right to be pissed off at these piece of shit kids.
No.
Who raised them?
The moral of the
Who
story
raised
is
these? You know what? They didn't buy a present. They grabbed some candles
good Catholic
from
people.
their parents.
All right.
Say again?
Good Catholic people.
They stole church candles? They're stealing candles from Jesus as Christmas presents? If that isn't the most fucked up shit.
But when you have an overabundance of something, just be a blessing to somebody else. Because guess what? I told her, like, our nanny just turned 60. Give her the candle.
Oh, she need that vibrator.
What are you talking about?
But with the candle.
What?
That's how you make it scented. Smell like the Great Depression.
The moral of the story is when you have an overabundance of something, be a blessing to somebody else. Okay? Even when you don't have an overabundance of something, be a blessing to somebody else. But I'm telling you, man, when you get to that place of worthy, that shit is better than any drug, bro.
Yo, I 100% agree. It is an amazing experience to have. I will tell people that if you try to fill yourself first, it will naturally happen where you want to give to these other people. Because right now we can sit here and be like, hey, give to other people. It's going to make you feel good. And it will. Mm-hmm. It 100% will. But
immediately.
There are people listening right now. They're like, this doesn't make you feel good. And there's no way to convince you it does. But it's going to organically happen once you have what you need.
Listen, by the way, I'm not here to try to convince you.
Like when you get drunk. The second you're drunk, you're like, who wants a drink? Anybody want a bit? You're literally trying to give your friends things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I got you. Next round's on me. Blah, blah, blah. Like everybody likes the drunk guy. You know what I mean? It's constant.
Depends.
Giving. You're giving.
If you're a nice drunk guy, you have angry drunks out there.
Even if you're an angry drunk, you're giving ass whippings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're beating up your family. You're still giving.
Slapping your dick on people's forehead when they sleep.
Okay. Who did that?
I don't know. I've just seen videos.
Chodi slap?
What they call it?
A chodi slap.
What is a chodi slap?
Chorizo.
So why you act like you didn't know what I was talking about? What is that? Don't blame it on Puerto Ricans.
Technically it's Mexicans.
Oh, Mexicans.